Merry Christmas to you and your family from the Beans and Rice Podcast. One of the greatest pastimes in the whole world is to read your kids a bedtime story. I have none of my own, but they're like my own. I have three with me right here. I have the twins, the Geminis, Jeb and Jen. Say hi. They would, but their shoulders hurt a little bit. And next to me, you may know him as the Lederhosen lad, the Munich monster, Wiener Schnitzel Snatcher, Gustastine Schweinsteiger. He's here to get in the spirit of Christmas, because we know he doesn't get down like that. He goes up, but we shall see what goes up in smoke. His belief in not Christmas or his belief in Christmas. So, the classic of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. I hope you guys enjoy. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring. Yeah, well, pesticides are very effective. You don't want roaches and rats in your house. Wash your hands. We don't want another plague. Not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. If you didn't hang them with care, your house would be burned to a crisp. There'd be nowhere for Papa Noel, Baba Natale, aka Santa Claus, to show up to your house. And your insurance would deny you the claim because it's arson. Arson! The children were nestled, all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. You hear that, guys? Why are these kids being fed psychedelics? Where are the parents? Throw them in a prison cell with Octomom. Terrible parents. Kids don't even know what a sugar plum is. They're tripping. And if they're too poor to afford a sugar plum, they're too poor for psychedelics. Therefore, they don't even know what a sugar plum is. Do you know what it looks like? No one does. Unless you're rich, then you probably do. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap. Yeah, possibly an eternal slumber. If their kids are being fed psychedelics, they're probably on that booger sugar, the brown sugar, Dover powder, some syrup, some drank, some lean, okay? Fentanyl, things are laced, people, be careful. Test all your stuff. I know some of you guys don't. You might not be here for very long. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. A sash? A sash. This guy's throwing on a green belt in Tai Chi to take on a man with immense powers who can never be spotted. The John Cena of fairy tales. How is he going to expect to take him on when he only knows Tai Chi? His father's tripping. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below. Breasts of new fallen snow? Sounds like this author is a fan of snow bunnies and their memories, and honestly, I can't really blame him. I get it. When what, to my wondering eyes, should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. Well, he tells 4 of them now. He tells the other 4 on. While this may seem like an insignificant detail to you guys, I understand that he's treating them differently. What is this? Segregation. Okay, it's a form of it. Mild one, but one nonetheless. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. Porch, black, wall, brown. I continue my aforementioned comments on this whole segregation thing. And if you don't understand this reference at all, I don't know what to tell you, and you're probably part of the problem. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. A lot of you parents are missing opportunities to educate your children. A courser, do you even know what a courser is? It's a swift horse, okay? A swift horse. So the myth that Mr. Santa Claus has been using reindeer has been lost upon all of us for decades. What nonsense. And you wonder why kids are growing up like idiots. Idiots! And then in a twinkling, I heard on the roof a prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my hand and was turning around, oh, this dude is rocking the Second Amendment hardcore. He's drawn out his pistol, his Smith & Wesson, Heckler & Koch. Hardcore Wild Wild West vibes right here on Christmas. Down the chimney, St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed in all fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were tarnished with ashes and soot. Well, that kind of sounds like blackface, and maybe something that Mr. Ye is being currently accused of. I mean, he's being accused right now of supporting the Thrice Empire's Führer. It's a play on words, people. Use a thesaurus if you need to know what that is. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. A peddler, huh? Well, he's slanging some dank on that corner. Well, he's got that powder from the North Pole. It's probably the best dust that you'll ever sniff. Maybe. Allegedly. His eyes, how they twinkled. His dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses. His nose, like a cherry. Pause. Pause. Hardcore, because how is this man describing the most charitable human possibly ever in existence, second to maybe Jesus Christ, this way, when his wife is laid up in bed in her kerchief, which, back in the olden times, lingerie, for you idiots that don't know. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. I don't think he said no homo. He probably should have if he didn't. Maybe you should tag it, but the beard on his chin? Usually a beard covers the entire face, or at least the bottom half of the face. So this guy, aka Santa Claus, has an entire generation of kids on his face. So maybe he's a soul snatcher that none of us really realized. This is pretty epic. This is kind of disgusting, and I'm really disappointed in him. I'd rather get coal than toys now. The stump of a pipe he had held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. Like a wreath, man. Santa Claus is a master puffer. He could outsmoke Willie Nelson, Snoop Dogg, and 2 atom bombs. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf. Contrary to popular belief, he is just a giant elf. Not a man, a giant elf. And a giant elf is a normal-sized human. That's it. And I laughed when I saw him, in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. Well, Santa Claus has crazy amounts of riz. He spits more game than a llama with Copenhagen chew. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, and turned down with a jerk. And laying a finger aside his nose, he's got that Aurora Borealis type of snow. He needs an upper if you catch my snow drift. He's got a really long night ahead of him, delivering all these presents to children, maybe orphans. He sprang to his sleigh, and to his team he gave a whistle, and away they all flew, like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night." Thank you guys. So go ahead, tuck yourselves in, leave cookies and milk out for Santa Claus, wait for those presents, and I hope you enjoyed this. You and your children have a Merry Christmas from the Beans and Rice family. Take care. Oh, y'all thought I was done? I'm not done, okay? It's a shitty Christmas poem or story or essay or dissertation, whatever you want to call it. That should be called The Two Twats Before Christmas, because honestly, Santa Claus and the guy in that nightcap are on some suspicious looking shit, right? And let we not forget, you guys are probably reading this poem to your kids. You're probably actually even showing them. You're too lazy to read a goddamn book to them. So what you're going to be doing tomorrow should be reading your credit card statements, your credit score, your bank accounts, because that's probably not just zero, it's in the negative. And this isn't golf, you idiots. You fucking morons are spending so much money trying to live this commercialized industrial place for some clout for your kids. They're going to outgrow those shoes in 2 months. They're going to stop playing with the toys in 3 weeks. They're going to stop thinking you're a cool parent or that Santa Claus helped them out in a time of need. So do something for yourselves. Get a goddamn job, get yourself a budget, get yourself a spreadsheet, QuickBooks, or whatever, and make sure you're budgeting your entire life correctly. Merry fucking Christmas.